where it's not even like Phoenix is a particularly popular agent. Like
No.
it's not one where we've gone
No.
like, oh yeah, Haven, like Phoenix, you play it on that. No, this is new. This is different, but it's exciting, and that's all I really want from Valorant. That's all I really want to see in this series. We are getting into our third and final map. One team will be eliminated from the first stage qualifier, and it is a fast take into A, Mitch.
It is indeed. Team Heretics looking to hold off outside of A, and I mean outside of A, because they're nowhere near it. A clean blitz, a 5v5 retake to be mounted if this spike ever actually goes down. The flash coming out early. There's the spike planted. Taka spotted, jumps up, and gets two. How does he get away with that? Not even a scratch on this attack. 5 men alive, and a VOVA shut down. What's just happened? They knew he was there.
All right, damn. Just not even going to get a single kill in the pistol round. I see how it is, Opportunist. You don't give them the chance to even get anywhere near the site. And this is the thing that I think is so exciting about this Opportunist roster. Sometimes the plays that they make are just like, let's just go straight basic into the site and we are just going to brawl with them. And we see that a lot in their pistol rounds. A lot of the time it's screw utility, we'll go in with the ghosts and we'll just out-aim them. And that's what they've done.
Tom, I don't know that I'm ready for this map. After the series so far, the agent selection, and now that round right there, I don't know what Takas was doing. I don't know if he lives on a different plane of existence to me, if he's like Yoru, but I don't know how he got up on top of that box, how he got 2 kills, and how he survived it. My mind is blown, officially. That's unbelievable. For Heretics, on the defensive side, they've gone for a bit more of a proactive A approach this time, Tom. 4 players here, 2 on site, 2 up in heaven. But they don't spot anybody early on. At least the information fades very quickly from the noise that they heard, and now they're starting to spread back out, realizing the B side is a teeny bit weak. Wanting to push down middle and get a little bit of info, they spot nobody. But, well, heavy rotate. Very heavy.
That's a shame. The initial setup was decent. Okay, you could just gone peeking into mid. That's going to be Logan down. They can at least try and make this one costly. And Takas, maybe a little bit more hesitant now. Nuki's found a second. Now, you can't keep giving this man individual jewels. He may have had a slightly quieter map, although still top of his team, but you don't want to give him extra space. Takas, he's going to look to try and reclaim some of it. A pick back. Roden's position is going to be tough to break, but again, it comes into a close scenario. Lau, on his newfound love for Phoenix, will not do anything. 2-0. It will be Opportunists converting the round, but we'll have to see how much they invest here, Mitch, because they could come in with the extra rifles and take this as, or basically a normal round and not as a bonus, or maybe we'll just see them go with some pistols.
I do feel for them as well over on Heretics, because not only, as you said, the initial read was perfect, they moved to B, but they also wanted to like put a recon down on B, presumably, waiting for it to tick back up. You pop that recon, you can rotate immediately. When you see B main is cleared, leave a 2-man hold, you've got 3 on A. But the timing, there's a like 15-second window there where Opportunists can run onto A for free, and they were perfect on that timing. Now, at this point, Pora, I think that alarm bot's going to be gone as well. They know that it's in that position pretty much. It's a very commonly placed spot, and they heard it be put down. But the dash through might just take it away anyways. Here comes Takas, straight onto the side. Akuma dealt with right away. Nukie just going to back off at this point. Doesn't need to stay there and fight any longer, and the nade is just to deter them and do a little bit of damage if he can. But you always got to be careful. When there's a jet and you hear that she doesn't want you in her way, well, it's time to back off. Play this one as a team and hopefully trade out those knives. Roden. Oh, Roden, he takes the knife out at the wrong time. That's a punishment and a half from Pora. Advantages all over the place here for the defensive side. Now they just need to execute on it, but good space taken by Takas. He gets there so fast. Rubino hadn't got a clue from range. No. Logan able to get him. Hoppy stunned them all, but the knives don't land, and so Logan's got to do it. He hasn't got the right weapon for the job. Look at the damage he did, though. 45, 24, 59 with a Spectre. If that was a Phantom, that's another big 1v3 clutch from Logan.
Yeah, this shouldn't have even been close. Like, that's one of the weakest bonus rounds I think I've ever seen. Like, it was almost completely pistols, and it's only at this moment where Takas gets a kill where I'm like, well, maybe it's somehow possible. Logan spray alongside Hoppy, it was too close for comfort again. And things looking a little bit shaky. The fact is, though, financially, it's not going to be too bad of a spot for Heretics. They do keep the majority of their players alive, but they now come up against a proper purchase. And the start that Takas has had, this could be a game changer, because he had a bad first map, a decent second one. If he goes off on this one, we could be seeing them making it through to the next stage.
Deploying drone.
Shot.
It's horrible.
Placing sentry.
Over, not with the greatest weaponry either, but he's just going to deny. Use the nebula. They're going straight through it, though. Takas gives him that close-range battle, and Avova, well, he'll welcome it. Nice shot from Nuki as well, although I don't think that was ever going to miss, and they cleaned that one up like nothing ever happened. A flawless round out from Heretics. They can upgrade some of the weaponry as well, and maybe some of the shakiness of the last round. Wow, that's completely gone, Mitch.
Placing swarm grenade. Bomb buddy out.
Deep sight and... Oh, that's such a simple mistake, but it costs you...
Oh, Nuki is going to look to try and do something here. This round is looking rough, but he's found a quick kill. He's got to be careful of the man above, but actually the flash forces them back. Akuma, however, will pick off another, and Lau, well, maybe the Phoenix isn't for him. He couldn't quite get there. That's not what you wanted to see, especially in a 1 versus 4. This round is over, and I'm going to be honest, Mitch. That's a round that if you're Heretics, you've got to expect that. This is Opportunists. This is Opportunists on a weaker buy. Like, they do this regularly. Fast, aggressive A takes, and what was it? Was it Pora? Was just in no man's land.
That Molly's been spotted. They know where he is. He's gone. Tak is just... Because we saw just before we switched to third person that Lau had popped a Molly on the corner to heal up, right? So in case he gets pushed, but that Molly instead... It's pretty big. It's pretty loud. So they hear it. They know exactly where he is. And Takas just easily swings and kills him. That's the weapon lost as well. I do think for Lau, though, he wouldn't have won that. It was a 1v4, right? It's a very difficult round to win. Better that he misses the flash there than when all of his teammates are up in heaven and he blinds them.
Yeah.
That's... I mean, let's look on the bright side at least.
Lau yet to frag Rubino in the same spot as well. This has not been the start that they were looking for. Roden, at least. Looking for a little bit of early information. Takas as well, just taking the control into middle, but Avova this time is not going to allow them to have that same sort of A presence. However, they're looking for a fast split down mid. Pora is so blind. Nothing he can do there. And this leaves just one man defending the entirety of B.
Off your feet!
Well, Tom, that B site certainly under threat as Takas closes in. The stuns on Rubino. Oh, and I thought he was going to get away with it still, but no. Dealt with. Nuki flashed up. Low HP. Blast packed out of there. It's a Superman move. Oh, Vova maybe going to be the real superhero of this round, though. They're back in it. They're back alive. The man advantage put back to evens, and with Takas being so low. Okay, they... Oh, no! The kill from Roden, that makes it much more difficult to utilize. Avova moving out to the safe spot inside of B main. He'll have a slightly better angle to approach on from here, but the time is now quite low and a bunch of kills to find. Takas on the back. He's going to be wall banked down. A good pre-fire by Lau early. They'll move to the side to get a little bit more. Wall goes up, and it's not really covering anything. Roden Hood doesn't need his bow and arrow because he's got a gun.
I think it would have made it a bit of a more aggressive and scary story if that was the case. He just pulls out the gat halfway through. But yeah, it is Opportunists taking themselves a 4-2 lead. And thus far, it's been some of the more basic strategies for them that have been working. Like the fast take into middle, again, something that both them and Heretics like to try and do. The split through, which, well, normally works slightly better if you do have a Sage available to you, but they didn't seem to struggle whatsoever. I want to give credit over to Hoppy as well. Like, so far, his flashes have been on point. Like, we've seen so many players from Heretics just left in no man's land and completely blind. This from Pora, though, is a complete change. He's going to go pushing into mid, and actually, he's able to get out of there. Escapes without a scratch, but he's left a snake in the grass, Nuki behind.
You are divided.
Well, the map is divided, but the players are not. Team Heretics very much focused on the A site, but look at this push coming through by Nukia. You see him over towards mid, but he decides instead to back on out. Yeah, as soon as he's seen on range by Roden, it's like, ugh, you're going to do 145 to the head, and it's not worth it trying to get 2 bullets to connect on range with 1 headshot out of those with a Sheriff. It's just not going to happen. What I don't like versus the pistols is what Roden's doing, because look at that. The second that he gets a kill, they're all like, go kill him. Let's just go get the weapon. Easy peasy. Now they've got a Vandal there and a Vandal down on bottom mid, or, well, the middle of mid, being picked up. Pora manages to connect a kill with it, and that mistake, oh, it could come back to bite them. The turret not spotting Logan up close. He's not good for more, though, but Takis closes the round out, thankfully. Still, Tom, look at what they came into this round against, and they survived with 1 player. It's close, but no cigar for Heretics.
Yeah, a solid round from Pora, especially. Like his aggression, peeking back through mid, using the solo rifle to do a lot of damage, having teammates almost go out to try and give him that advantage in the duels, but unfortunately, I think it's actually the turret that almost loses them the round. Like they could have had a much easier kill onto Logan, but instead he's able to just dodge it, knowing exactly how that turret works, of course. And 5-2. A solid start for Opportunists. And they're going to come in with a comfortable purchase nonetheless. And Takas, again, this Blade Storm has been a bit of a menace for Heretics so far. And Nuki, this is horrible. Just getting bombarded with utility. They know exactly where he is. In fact, Lau's going to come out again. He's going to flash himself. The curveballs are just going completely wrong, but it seems like he's getting away with it. Rubino traded out in mid, but it's worth the trade because Lau comes out on top and Avova is patiently waiting for anybody to try and make a play through the smoke.
Logan creeping up triggers the alarm bot. They know that he's here. That's such an easy fight now because he's low HP, and Nuke even gets the headshot. Takis moving to the B site. He'll cross over. No, he won't. He's actually going to go all the way into spawn, and Nuke is low. This is a very favorable duel for him if he can isolate it. He has the updraft, but that player's right beside the wall instead, creeping around behind. Oh no! That almost went sideways pretty quick. But the kill goes his way. Now side is his. A player quickly moving into main, and that's Lal. He might be able to catch it down the alley. He's on his way. Oh, that's a good position. Takis doesn't expect it. He was given an opportunity, right? A little bit of a whiff shot by Lal as well, but in the end, it goes his way. Heretics, they take it to 3.
Honestly, there were so many scary moments in this round that I think I'm going to need a new pair of trousers. Because just Lau flashing himself as he tries to make his way through short. The missed knives coming in towards the end. Again, it has to be said, solid use of the gravity well to just pull him into an angle where, sure, maybe if he hits the instant headshot with the knives, but I think you're just in such an awkward spot trying to plant the spike. Heretics, they scraped through a round. Economy-wise, both teams in similar positions, so we're not going to see any pistols in just yet. Roden with his ult, it's mainly the look at Heretics. The Divide available, Hunter's Fury, and also the Lockdown. They're in a solid spot if they need to retake.
That they are. The drone coming through, going to be able to spot out a couple of players, and in fact, I think all 3. Don't know if the flash popped quite in time. That could be huge information to play off of, and indeed, I think they got it, because look at this. Immediate rotate towards the B site. Swarm down to cover out the right corner. I love that utility commitment. They've managed to make it up close. They can close the door if they want to. They're looking at the site very, very quickly. Pora under threat, under pressure. He somehow isolates a second kill. Now even more 1v1s, but this time Hoppy is able to close it out. Man, disadvantage. Great hold again by Pora. He's been so consistent, even when he's being pinned pincered by multiple players, but Roden caught on the flank. The advantages managed to thin out even further. Player blocked out in B main. Recon actually going to see the player, and despite a good bait, it's not going to work. Kuma only good for one. That's unfortunate for Nuke. Go on, do it. Do it.
You can tell right now as well. He's just like, I could kill you. I could take this defuse. I want to get my ult points back, you know?
Say something nice about me now.
Oh, 5-4. A much better round as well. Pora, I feel like he's put in this situation an awful lot where he has to basically hold down the side, but it's something he is so very good at. The reason we spoke about him earlier being potentially placed onto Arena is because in terms of individual skill, this man's off the charts. He's off the chain. So, didn't happen today. Well, again, we are looking at the purchase coming in. Hoppy actually gonna have to drop down to a Guardian, but that hasn't been too much of a burden for them thus far. And again, they look to try and battle into mid. The finance is not really there for an operator to come out, but it's not something that, as said, Nuki uses too often. Lau, you need to get the distance of those curveballs down. It's now been 3 that we've spotted. I feel like the observers are doing him dirty.
Like, oh, he's got flashes. Let's see what he does with those. No, but look, it can happen in the early days of playing with this. Lau backed off that wall. It gives him nothing to really work with at this point. Luckily, Rubino hadn't been spotted. They were looking elsewhere, and this attack, it's crumbled. Akuma left alone. He's got the Reaver Vandal. I wish I had. As he moves towards the side. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's just double peeked. That's something I'll say Heretics are very good at. They don't get carried away with like, oh, there's a guy here. I'll go quickly and get it. They take those fights together. Okay, we see Logan get the kill. Or not Logan, sorry, Pora, but he has the trade there, right? You have another player down the bottom. Rubino swings at exactly the same time. They're never taking 1v1s, it feels like, unless it's essential, like Pora backside.
Yeah, they were very ready for that take as well. And also, Hoppy did actually commit the Rolling Thunder. So there was quite a bit actually invested into that round for Opportunists, and they really didn't come out with much at all. In fact, that was almost their economy-saving round. So from what was looking like a quite damning position for Heretics, they have brought things back once again. As said, mental fortitude of this squad, you can never count them out, but they've had struggles in rounds like this. We saw them earlier lose to the Pistols. Now, there isn't a Blade Storm, and in fact, it's actually the Nano Swarm that is going to find the first kill.
With Akuma already taken down the 5v4. Whoa! Prompts out the Hunter's Fury, which catches Logan exactly and clears down below. This is great, because now if they just pop that flash... Oh, you need to stand closer than that. If you pop that flash, they're going to feel so comfortable to just rush out and take those fights. Lau... Okay, there we go. That's it. Yeah, he goes a little bit further just in case. I appreciate it when the mistakes have happened. But now they've managed to sneak underneath. And this might not be expected. Oh, well, never mind. He's out in the open. Hoppy's dealt with right away, and the defuse comes through.
Yeah, these are the sort of rounds that, if you are a Heretics fan, that's exactly what you want. Calm, collected. Sure, the plum goes down for the opposition, so they get a little bit of extra cash into the next round. But it's not really going to be something that bothers Heretics at all. And now they can come in with whatever purchase they want. They've saved absolutely everything forward. And this was clean. This was exactly what we want to see from the roster. In fact, so much so, I think Opportunists are actually coming in with a pause of their own. So a little bit of time taken. And the lead also into the hands of Heretics. Of course, for anybody who doesn't know, the loser of this game is out. We'll have to go back through the second qualifier, and I'll be honest, like, there's so many teams that we saw didn't make it through, yours being one of them, but also we got the likes of G2, Liquid.
Next up.
It's a scary time to even head... In fact, I haven't mentioned Ascend, which they are the champions of Masters 1. So they are a team that you could potentially match up against. You do not want to be in that second qualifier.
Absolutely. Yeah, making it through now. Well, even winning this game and then getting knocked still puts you in a higher seed, which makes it much less likely that you have to play Ascent or any of the other top teams. So definitely something to win either way. But for Heretics, after winning the first map, losing this series would be heartbreaking. Typically, they're getting a lot of rounds in the attack as well, so I think that they're in a pretty comfortable spot. Even if... Oh, here we go. Old push. Lau, he's shut down. And that's one of the problems, right? You run into 4 or 5 players like that, they're just going to pre-fire you. But the upside is he has the info. That's given away anyways by the lockdown coming into play as Heretics look to defend a very passive retake, but the player's being spotted down below. I'm afraid he is just dead. There's no way out of there for Evova.
Yeah, they also had counter utility up on Heaven to deny the gravity well, pulling players back. The stun. It's actually a boombot kill. Rodin takes his opponent with him, and now we even see the counter lot as well, trying to force them into these back corners. The spike is planted again. We're going to see Takaz jump up above. This man has no fear, and in the meantime, his teammates are spamming through Rubino without a hope in hell. Solid after plant from the side of Opportunists, and you know what, Mitch? I think this is about right. We go in on the half, 6-6.
Speaking about the after plan, you know, this isn't something that they've necessarily rehearsed for every round that they push the A side. This is a direct answer to the lockdown that comes in from the defenders. They then decide over on the opportunist side to stack up underneath, to pop flashes, to spam, but most importantly, to have Takaz jump up again on that position that we saw him in the pistol round find that double kill from. He jumps up right as Breach flashes and manages to pick off a couple, do damage, and feed info to his teammates so they can be more accurate on their spams, because you know at this point that the position they want to push from when that lockdown comes into play is from Heaven. They want to secure the site, and the only place they're really worried about is that corner underneath Heaven. And so that's where they go and completely destroy them on the run out. I love that reaction and that read from the now defensive side of Opportunists.
Aura, he's just walking it all the way down mid. This is something that Heretics will do regularly. They love their mid control, they love their boathouse control, and they're going to go splitting through. Now, there's still a player at the back of the site, but again, the pressure is going to be on Logan, and that's two players who've just burnt down incredibly low. Fire hurts, guys, and good luck to Logan. He's only going to be able to get one. They are holding this Nebula as well. Nobody making it back into the site before the plant.
Can you tell people don't usually play versus Phoenix? I mean, the comms there had to be coming up much quicker. There's a molly on the floor. Don't stand inside it. You know, pretty basic things. Left into a 2v3 because of it. Takaz has been so big in the pistol rounds. He's got Hoppy to support him, but no flashes, no stun even. The fault line is completely out of the game for the next 12 seconds, which is most of this round. They've got to go and take some fights. There's a cloud burst and dash. Takaz cuts the dash short and manages to find one, but another double awaits him on the back. Oh, that's a very early peek coming out. Oh, what? Takaz gets them both. Oh, that's a mistake that's going to hurt Heretics and haunt them for the rest of this map. The pistol goes to Opportunists.
That's unbelievable. And the thing is as well, you look at the way they tried to play that. They wanted to double peek him. I think it was slightly miscommunicated in the timing of it, but even still, they line up and just both headshots for Takaz. I mentioned him in the first map. It was underwhelming, to say the least. In this map, he's currently up to 19 kills, and we are entering the second half. An unbelievable performance, the difference maker, no doubt. And while you can see that on the other side of things, Mitch, they're not happy about this. It is a force buy coming up from Heretics.
Oh, yeah, they're not happy about letting that one go. And you know what? I'm not even... Oh, God, Takaz, hello. Early tag for free, and he gets out. He gets hit up by a Spectre, but on that range, it does nothing. Tapped in the toes, it seems like. Oh, the reload! It comes in at just the wrong time. Flash in play. Hoppy wants to trade it back. He gets himself one. Another flash to try and re-engage, and he's going to... Oh, that's so good. Peek with his teammate. Takaz sprayed through the smoke with the Ghost, and they make it look easy. Did you say that was a force buy, Tom? Because it looked like an eco. Only one player lost for Opportunists as Heretics now forced down to the weaker buy again. But I was going to say, in that previous round, that 2v1, I'm not even going to critique them that much because, okay, yeah, they were a little bit off on the timing. They could have coordinated better on the peaks for sure. But there's no way you think he hits both of those shots. Come on.
Amateur.
Takaz is shining. It's good to see him back on that jet. Something we didn't really highlight too much going into the pre-show is actually the change to bring Jet back in previously for Nuki, but he's on his raise as normal, maybe just trying to throw people off, but it hasn't worked out this time. Now, they do get an opening pick. Takaz, we've hyped him up over the last few rounds. He's been brought back down to earth. It's not going to be much of a retrievable weapon. Now, they can't afford to let this one slip. They're in a good spot at the moment, it's Opportunists, but we know Heretics can pull out any round.
Oh, Hoppy. Oh, you nasty, nasty boy. He gets inside that smoke. They had no idea. Dodge it. Well, gets hit by the flash, but waits it out outside the smoke. In the meantime, Vova gets a double on the site. Now it's all down to Rodin. He creeps in through the smoke. He tries to get under the door, and he gets a kill through it. Time bought, but 10 HP. He received a lot of damage, and with 2 players left to go, and with a weapon that does not one-shot headshot either of them, that's going to be tough. He wants to creep out on site, hoping someone gets spotted, but they don't, waiting for their move. And at this point, surely he loses this one. They go out, and it's an easy wallbang, even with a Spectre. Oh, wow.
How? How did they just walk into the site with Sheriffs and just dome 2 players, make it look easy, and Heretics are right back in this? Like, we were starting to build the storyline of Opportunists, like, getting themselves into a strong position, but it's gone. Just like that. And they will have a purchase back into this round, Mitch, but a round like that can break you.
It even started out so terribly as well, because Takis with the Marshal, he wanted to push up B main. He got flashed on the perfect timing, so he couldn't see a thing. He tried to dash out, but he dashed into the corner of a wall like a pixel, and got caught on it. And that was it. He was done. Done for. Lose a player straight off the bat, and, well, you got pressure on B, you've got to rotate, you lose a lot of control. One man pushed up A, the other covering him, that's short open, they get in, and it's all over and done with. It was a very nice round by Heretics. But they took advantage of Opportunists taking some aggressive positions. Now Opportunists with the rifles. This is where they need to make it work. Takis, I'm surprised, honestly, that he goes for the Operator at this stage. With one of his teammates, especially being Akuma, who liked to play so aggressive, being on a Spectre, I probably would have preferred him just, allow him to have a proper rifle. Your, I don't know, the Vandal, I guess. That's what they seem to play with for the most part. And Takis popped the knives, but hey, with that Operator, he's been sick. But holding the A side, it doesn't look like he'll get many opportunities. And in fact, Tom, there's 3 players towards A, including the Killjoy. So they have very little to defend this B side. This is the weakness of the defense, and it's exactly where Heretics are going.
Yeah, the initial read they had seemed decent, but the rotation coming in, they did set up for this retake. And they do have the Rolling Thunder available to them. In fact, that's going to deny the push completely. And the peek back out from Hoppy. This Killjoy is going to do absolutely nothing, because now the defenders can already start their retake. They can already start to put pressure on before the spike's even gone down. There's second to spare, but the second lurker Empora has done so much. The push through, they almost line up. And Rubino, he's got to get onto that spike. He needs to get it down right now, and the knives come through from Takis. He will clutch out the round. The ultimate combination from Opportunist, and they will steal themselves a 9th.
That is disgusting. I mean, as much as Heretics had no right to win the previous round, this one here was looking set to be theirs with all the kills that came in, but the lineups, the knives, Blade Storm, updrafts, I mean, well played by Takis. Fantastic round, Operator saved, no plan for Heretics, and all in all, this is, it's like, I feel like whoever chains the rounds together first just breaks the mentality of the other team. Like, they're winning rounds they shouldn't be, and now in this one, it becomes a fairly even fight with some of the players. Like a Vova, Nuke, they get their proper weapons out, but they're still lacking in a lot of the weaponry departments. They have to run it back as well. I'd be interested to see if they decide to pop that. Certainly if things start to go their way. If they find an opening kill, I think he gets a weapon and they rush on. Oh, he already has one. Never mind.
Yeah. And it seems like they've decided to take a bit of a risk here.
Yep.
Now, I would assume he is going to do something with it here. Otherwise, this weapon purchase seems like an incredibly big risk if you're not going to actually commit to it fully. Now, again, early A control. Nuki back in his classic lurk role. They're going to take the initial control in towards A, and all the utility that's currently there defensively is sat on that B site. So maybe expecting more of the same after such a close round. That is something that Heretics like to do. In fact, we're going to see the divide, and now the push through, but see you later. That ultimate achieves absolutely nothing.
In a way, though, it opens the space. It takes the operator off the angle. Now, look, oh, this is so good. He doesn't check behind him. Akuma up close to the wall, catches them off, and even more going his way. A triple as the flash completely blinded them from Rabina, or from Hoppy, excuse me. That is an insane start for Opportunists. The spike not planted, time on their side, operators still in their hands, and a fair bit of utility to get back into sight. Recon Dart, I think, is up in just a couple of seconds for Roden. Man, you have got to be really hurting right now if you're Heretics. They took a gamble on this round, and it hasn't paid off so far. It's Lowell and Rubino left to make it work. The jet dash in the open. Lowell tries to catch the second man in, but they get nothing done. And Opportunists, they reach double digits.
I think that's definitely one of the better cosmic divides that we've seen throughout, well, the history of Astra, which may not be very long, but the fact that they utilize it to just section off the whole site. Like, there's no way you can plant without running through, and that's what they try and do. But they actually go over the top of Akuma, and then this flash was unbelievable. Like, so many players blind. Lau actually has to try and swing just to make sure he doesn't lose his whole team in a single swipe. There's a few moments now, in fact, in back-to-back rounds, where although Hoppy has not got the kills, I feel like he's won it for them.
Yeah, oh, 100%. His flashes have been on point, and we talked about
Thunder as well.
Just the previous, the last round of the previous half, the reaction to the lockdown that came in on A, that was him flashing and presumably being the point man on that. No way, Takis! No way! The first, acceptable, normal. The second, he wasn't even trying to take that fight. Oh, it's so good! So not only does that player hold up close, but the smoke, it was being recalled. They were pulling back the star, so it only lasts 1.5 seconds. Then boom, player inside it gets a free angle. Pora left alone. The rifles that they invested into are getting nothing done. And again, Team Heretics, they're struggling to get... It doesn't matter what side of the map they go to. Opening duels are something I said Opportunists rarely manage to connect when we were on the desk earlier. I said these guys, they love playing from behind. In fact, they win games where they have less opening duels won than their opponents. But right here, that is not the case.
It looks even better the second time around. It's funny that we have almost gone, again, from talking about Takis as like someone who needed to perform better if he's going to go back to this jet, to him being by far the best player in the server right now. It's not even comparable. The way that he is currently playing is unstoppable. We haven't needed the clutches from Logan because there's not been that much to clutch. It's only been the rounds that he was left alive at the end, and he still manages to bring them home. Rubino, this is an early ult. He's going to throw in the Hunter's Fury to try and clear out the back of the site, but look who's waiting. It's Takis. He is this time flashed off the angle, but he's able to escape.
Recon to go through and confirm if they're still inside of B main. It won't get that far, but I think it's definitely going to spot one player, the pistol in hand. But the information is hard to really react off of. That's unfortunate for Nuke. He gets a little bit of information up top, but only seeing that it's clear, not exactly what they wanted. They want someone to react on, someone to burst onto. Playing with the weaker weapons here. Oh, they need to find duels on a relatively close range. They need to find ones that they can outnumber their opponents, and running into someone like Takis who can pick you off and then get out of there so quickly is not exactly what you want, albeit he doesn't have his dash, but still. Oh, Hoppy, hello, out into the open. He's taking close range duels, and they line up for him. Oh, not even giving them an inch on this eco. Evolve, oh, what? He's got a rifle in hand. Roden's quick to take him down, but a 3K that almost turns into a winnable round. Heretics, they didn't really expect to do that much in the previous, but they nearly get away with murder.
Yeah, I feel like Avova's been on the pistol DM. The sheriff shots have been ridiculous over this match. Just the adaptation, the correction to get himself back. But this is it. Heretics again, just like the last map, needing a 5-round streak to just survive, just to get to OT. Otherwise, this is something I didn't think I'd be saying. Our grand finalists from Masters 1 will both be out.
Yep, potentially. And it's not because of some weird stuff going on, right? It's Opportunists are playing so damn well. This is...
You should run.
I mean, we knew it about MIP, but I said even when I pick Opportunists to win this series, I'm 51% positive. You know, it's a damn tight series, but Heretics,
and it needed split.
Weak. Yeah, and they needed split, right? Exactly. Cosmic Divide to counter Cosmic Divide. They're again going to look for these flashes to come through. An angle needs to be kept, but Akuma just goes out. They don't even need flashes. Akuma, another triple. He seems to be able to use these Cosmic Divides completely against his opponents. Rodin, okay, he's not going to get away with it this time, but Nuke's 30 HP after that engagement. Cosmic Divide will be fading, and now in the open, Pora gets tagged as well. They know where both players are. They smoked them off. 40 seconds remaining. Akuma going to look for the ace in the final round. He's got the bullets to do it.
One enemy
And
remaining.
the player's about to run on through, but Logan steals it away. It's a 4K for Akuma. It's 13-7 for Opportunists, and 2-1 as they take this series and eliminate Team Heretics.